you have discrimination at work? Alright. How many of you go through poor communication which leads to mistakes? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And how many of you have different working styles which leads to clashes?
Does working include staying at home?
Working includes any kind of working style. If you're really working,
I'm working at home, I feel so.
You're working from home.
Yeah. Not working from home. I'm retired. I'm working at home.
You're working at home. That's a good question. But yeah, it can include that. Working. That's okay. So how many of you here? You have different working style clashes? So Neil has. Okay, great. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear friends, my topic, which I have chosen for today, talks about conflict to collaboration. And where a lot of you might be some of you might be in conflict with me today, and I will try my best to collaborate and merge together. So what is conflict and how do you move to collaboration? I think a lot of you know what is the conflict and it keeps happening. Now I would like to show you some pictures here. Okay, what does this picture show you? Can you tell me?
A woman.
What does this picture say?
A girl.
A woman?
Or a girl.
Okay. Woman or
A girl.
a girl? So some of you might be women, some of you girl.
Old lady.
Old lady, okay. Different eyes, different girl, old lady. Anyone?
Abstract
Anything else?
art.
Abstract art, okay, good.
That
Thank
could
you.
also be a mountain with snow.
Okay, a mountain with snow. Great perception. How about this picture? What do you see here?
A
The
man.
face of a man.
A face.
Yes.
A man.
Face? Okay. Or liar?
Liar.
The word liar? Okay. So different people have different perceptions. Do they?
Yes.
Yes, do you agree? So a lot of people, somebody might think it's a liar, somebody might think it's a face, if there's an old lady or there is a young lady. We all have different perception to different things. Now, what happens when we have so many different perceptions? Here, we are into a friendly environment and relationship, which is okay, we just take it as a perception. But in real life, there are times you might have a different opinion to the other person, and your eye sees different point of view than the other person, and when that happens, it's a beginning of a conflict in some way. So conflict is coming there. Yes,
See, in real life, it is not as simple and trivial as these two pictures, which are deliberately made with the intention to show two different pictures. Right? In real life, it is much more straightforward. Two people have different opinions, and it is not a matter of perception. It's an opinion.
It's an opinion. Sure,
How
it
do
can
we
be.
address that?
Yeah, we are coming to that. Good question, and we'll be answering it in a meanwhile. And in case you still have any doubts after the session, you can ask me and I'll be more than happy to help you. So, yeah, it can be perception, it can be different point of views in different ways. Now, there are many reasons to conflict. Many reasons. Like Nikhil also said, in real life it is different. They can be perspective, they can be expertise. Somebody thinks I'm expert than the other person. Urgency, there can be miscommunication. The values and beliefs of people are absolutely different. Ego, no trust, rigidity or priorities. People might have different reasons to undergo a conflict or have some kind of conflict, and people behave in a different way. So today, what I'm going to talk about is, we have reasons to conflict, but we are going to talk about one model, which is by two expert people or two experts in their field or researchers, Thomas and Kilmann, where they make a model together called conflict resolution, and Thomas-Kilmann conflict model is what I'm going to present to you today.
Thomas-Kilmann, have you heard about them?
I have not yet.
It's not one person, it's two people, Thomas and Kilmann, they come together and it's a model. So, yeah, I hope. Okay, so now how do we do what does this model talk about? Let's take it. It talks about all of you, any kind of problem or anything that you have. This model is based on two things. People have goals, people and relationship. Any kind of goals that you have or any kind of relationship you have, how do you deal with them? The first animal here represents shark, competing shark. So if your goal is very high, at the same time, if your relationship status is low, you're more like a competing shark. The second, accommodating, a teddy bear. Completely opposite. You are very high on relationship with people and you are low in goals. Avoidance, like a turtle, where you are low with your goals and low with your relationships. Collaborative owl we call it, which is high in goals and high in relationship. And then there is a compromising fox, which is in the center. You're just compromising in any kind of relationship and working it out in some way or the other. So many people do this. Now I'm just going to explain you in one slide. When you're talking about competing, I win and you lose is a kind of conflict. When you talk about when you talk about accommodating, you win but I lose. Whatever you say is right. When we talk about avoidance, lose, conflict, what conflict? And compromising, I'll give you this if you give me that particular thing. What is your preference and what is it that you would prefer? Win-win? What's your choice? How do we do that? Collaborative. How do we really collaborate with each other and bring that into the picture? Yes, Nikhil?
While we would like to collaborate and win, but the other person is not relenting, is really being very aggressive, then what do you suggest? Do we have to match their aggression or do we compromise? Because it can, that conflict can become very uncivilized very soon.
Yeah. That's a great perspective to see. Yes, there are people, but there are always exceptions which do happen where people are really get into an aggressive mode and it's difficult. So there are always like when it is difficult at times to manage people when we have husband and wife trying to collaborate or a mother-in-law.
I was going to ask you, do you apply the same thing in your home as you apply outside?
I would say this is a model and styles to learn, which we just incorporate, understand them better and try to deal with the conflict. That's what it is. So we deal with different things. Would you like to share anything?
No, we're just talking, side talking. I said you show owl, so मैंने कहा owl तो owl ही होता है.
No, if you like to share, Tarun, more than welcome, please.
No, we just wanted to side talk.
Okay. So now let me tell you a story here. Army officer. Once upon a time, there was this particular army officer who was going back home after maybe a big war that he did 6-8 months. And his son was waiting for his father to get him a cycle. So he went to a cycle shop to buy a cycle for him. At the same shop came a lady. Now this particular lady's son was taking part in cycling competition. And it was very difficult day because he broke his cycle and tomorrow he was actually going to take part. Now both of them land in the same shop to buy the same cycle. What could they have done? For army officer's son, the cycle was important for him. So was the lady because her son was taking part in the competition. What could have been done? Do you become shark? Do you become turtle? What do you do? Somebody would have just said that I can just snatch the cycle because for my son it's important or his is important. The right way here to collaborate is what they actually did was, so the army officer, the lady, army officer told the lady, why don't you take the cycle for your son's competition in the morning, and in the afternoon you can return it to me where I take the cycle and buy it and take it home. So they do collaborate, and all of us do. Now imagine you're having a arm fist with each other. Can one of you do that to each? One of you, quickly, very quick, a short time. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Great. Great. So who won?
Rohit.
Rohit won. Okay. Maybe if I tell you to do it again, maybe you might have more points or he might have more points. Now, but if as a team you both have to win, how would you collaborate here?
One time he'll win and one time I'll lose.
One time you win and one time he wins, and you collaborate. So even in today's world,
Is it
They will-
match fixing?
that's another way to see it. Here, they are collaborating. So if you see in training programs, or I work as a trainer here where I go and meet a lot of clients, and then there is another vendor sitting there, and there are times we are wondering, is he going to get a lead or I am going to get the lead? And we have come out together thinking that let's take the whole, rather than me getting 25,000 for that 2 hours or you getting, why don't we give a big lump sum to the client and work together? And that's collaboration, which we can use sometime or the other, and win-win. So that's it for today, and thank you so much. I hope you all are into win-win situations.